Hey everyone, this is Randy from BibleBuyingGuide.com. I received a couple of Bibles from Lockman, and this will be an unboxing of the first one. It's the Reader's Bible in the NASB 2020 edition. And I have a cat trying to steal the camera here. But so the first one, we'll do a quick unboxing with my first impressions, and then the written review will be the full review, and it'll be posted at BibleBuyingGuide.com in a few days. So looking at the information, is the 2020 NASB text, clear reading type, line match typesetting, Smythe sewn, single column text with poetry in 2 columns. That's interesting. Inside margin and verse chapter numbers. So they're in the inner column here. Black letter text, 2 double-sided single cut 10mm satin ribbons, and then presentation page, family records, and then color maps in the back. So it does come in this interesting sleeve. This one is a hardcover. It is cloth over board, and it's kind of an dark olive green. Let's see if they tell us here. Yep, olive linen hardcover. That's interesting. I like hardcovers. Hardcovers are underrated, in my opinion. That's a good size. I like that. Let's go ahead and measure this thing. The overall size is 5 3/4 by 8 3/4 by 1 1/2. That is a good size. I like that size. Good personal size. Open it up and see what we have. Double column text for the Psalms. It's interesting. So we have verse numbers in the center column, and they're on the side of the page that is showing for the verse. That's interesting. And then we have, okay, now we also have poetry in single column here. So poetry goes back and forth between double column in Psalms and single column somewhere else. And I'm going to have to get this cat out of this room here in a minute. So there's the single column for prose. That looks good. I like the drop cap. Takes 3 lines, and it's just a letter that's not filled in. Good dark bold red for the verse numbers. I like how this stays open in the hand. That's one reason I like a hardcover, because that spine rises in the middle and it flattens the page out. My cat wants me to pet her, so she might be in the way for a few minutes. So hopefully she won't get too much in the way. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. One thing I like about hardcovers is they stay open. They stay where you put them. I like that. Thick end sheet for presentation page. Marriages, so it does have some family pages. Wife's family tree, husband's family tree, births, deaths, and occasions to remember. Stays open with no trouble. I like this paper too. I'm not sure what this is. It feels coated, so I think that is a good quality paper. Here's what the opacity looks like. Got some shadows. If I can get rid of those, I would love that, but I don't have enough lighting. I need some more lighting. Printed in Korea by Cadre.com. Show through is a little bit noticeable, but line matching does help that. Even the forward is line matched. That's interesting. It feels well made. The GSM of the paper, I'm going to guess it to be it's 30s. I don't know. It's in the 30s. So there is the text, paragraph setting with verse numbers in the margin. So you just have to know where the verse starts. There's no way to know exactly where the verse starts. So it could start at the beginning of the sentence. Yeah, there's no way to know. There's no marking or anything, so there's no way to know. Like here on verse 17, it starts with one part of the line ends with a colon a semicolon, and then the next, it's hard to say. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's any marking. I started to say that this is 17 has he made the stars also, and then that could be the beginning of it, but they could be using capital letters for pronouns for God. So I don't know. One way to know that is to go to Genesis 1:26. Genesis 1:26. Let us, so there's a capital U for us. So yeah, they are using capital letters for the pronouns. So you can't go by the capital letters. So yeah, most likely the verses start at the end of the sentence, at the beginning of the next sentence. But that's a clean design. I love this look. Looks really good. So chapters are marked with a larger, bolder number, also in red. Across the top, we have the book name with the chapter numbers in the center column. And then in the footer, we have the page numbers in the center. So it looks good. That's a really good looking text. Psalms is different for sure. And I understand why you want to do something like this for poetry. It has less white space on the page when you do this. And let me go back to find some more poetry somewhere. We had some poetry a little bit ago. I turned to it, no trouble. It might be hard to find it, but okay. So maybe what I saw wasn't poetry. Maybe what I saw was something else. Because there's poetry in Proverbs and Isaiah. So it's possible I saw a list. I'm going to have to find that and put that in the written review. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it was a list. So poetry is in double column all the way through, and then lists are in single column. So there's a list in 1 Chronicles. I think. Okay, that's a prayer or a psalm, actually. I don't know. I'll spend some time looking at that. We'll see if it shows it in the front. These are more of a first impressions and discovery. I could be wrong in these. I could take extra time trying to find something and it not tell us. Yeah, it should be there in the forward. Okay, so I'm going to pause this and I'm going to read. So I don't see anything that tells that explains that. But what it does say on the back of the box, it does say single column text with poetry in 2 columns. So maybe there's something special about that one line that I saw. But I'll look through it. I'll spend some time with it, and then that'll be in the written review. But poetry looks really good. It looks like it's divided in good places. So we have like this one. See, look, see, listen, daughter, look, and incline your ear. What they're doing is they're kind of spacing it so that it looks balanced on the page. That looks really good. Here's one line with a single word. They could have done, for behold, the kings arrived, could be under it. I don't know why they're not doing it that way, but that works either way. You only have one word, one line with one word. I don't see a lot of lines that stand out to me as needing to be adjusted or changed. This looks really good. I like this. And I don't see a lot of show through. You do see some here, but it's the opacity could be a little more, but I don't see any problems with it. And this also could be my lighting. I don't have good lighting here. So there's another page with a single column. Now where the text is behind the line of text on the other side of the page, I do see a little bit of that behind it, but it doesn't distract me. And I don't find this so much distracting just by looking at it. So it looks fine. I wouldn't mind if it was a little more opaque, but it's fine. This is good. This is good. And also I noticed that this has the ragged right edge. So left justified, not justified on the right side. What I call the ragged right edge. This is pretty. I like this. I like the way that they've handled the verse numbers. To me, this looks like a 2K Denmark setting. I'm going to be surprised if this is not 2K Denmark. Let's see if we tell here in the front. Yep, there it is. Typesetting by 2K Denmark. Design and typesetting by 2K Denmark. So yeah, that did look familiar to me. That looks familiar. They're always coming up with interesting designs like this. That's a good way to do the verse numbers for poetry and keep them out of the text. Now the only thing I see here is that I don't see a way to find the verse number you're looking for, but at the same time, this is made for reading. It is a reader's Bible. That's the whole point. It's a reader's Bible. So that looks really good. So let's look at Old Testament quotes and all of that sort of thing. I suspect it will be in all capitals. Here we go, all caps. So Old Testament quotes are in all caps. No, there are no footnotes or anything like that, so it doesn't show me where the quotes are from. But that's okay. Don't have to have that in every Bible. There's a very large quotation mark. They don't all have this, so this chapter happens to start with a quotation, so that's going to have it. So we have asterisks. Now it does tell in the front what the asterisks are for. So I did see that in the front as I was looking for information. That's just common NASB setting. So Revelation, and then we have maps. There's a Lockman maps that's used in the standard Lockman NASBs. That is the 1999 Lockman Foundation map. So they've had these for a long time. Doesn't look like it has an index, but they are annotated. Sometimes annotations can make it a little bit more difficult to read. But the way they've done theirs is they have a little bit of a texture on the land and no texture on the water. And that's about it. So some lines after that. So not a lot of things to get in the way. I find these easy enough to read. I think these are easy enough to read maps. I like these. 8 maps, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 8 maps. So yeah, that's a good looking Bible. Already got some cat hair on it. I like this. I like this a lot. Holds open well in the hand. The spine rises so it flattens the page. I like that. I don't have to look for the verse numbers. It's just right here. It is difficult to know where the verses start. So especially if you have 2 verses on a line, and then some lines are going to have maybe even 3 verses. So when you have 2 on a line, I don't know where one ends and where the next starts. Probably here and probably here. That's looking at punctuation. I'm just guessing. It doesn't really matter. It's just for reading. It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to have everything easy to use. And this is easy enough. So I'll place links in the notes so that you can make a purchase if you're interested. That does help my website. It helps me pay my bills there at the site and keep it running. And I'll post the written review as soon as I have had enough time with it to be able to actually review it. But my first impressions are this is a very nice Bible. I like this. I like this a lot. This is the kind of Bible that I'm looking forward to seeing more of this type of thing on the market. So my thanks to the Lockman Foundation and my kitty for keeping me busy over here. So anyway, thanks for watching.